Now for another piece of good news. Massachusetts opened its third mass vaccination site today at Fenway Park, in addition to ones already up and running at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough and the Eastfield Mall in Springfield, which opened Friday. Fourth site was also supposed to open today at the Reggie Lewis Center in Roxbury. That was delayed due to the weather. Fenway has the capacity to give up to 500 shots a day at the moment, aiming to ramp up to 1,250 a day in the coming weeks. It's being run by the Cambridge tech company CIC Health, which is also managing the site at Gillette, which has the capacity for 1,500 shots a day now, hopes to ramp up to 5,000 a day soon. Chief Marketing Officer Rodrigo Martinez joins me now. Rodrigo, it's good to see you.
Great to see you, Jim.
So 2 weeks at Gillette, 1 day at Fenway. I know it was with snow. We got calls on the radio today from people who mostly complaining about how horrible it is they can't get an appointment. But the people who had been at Fenway this morning and had been at Gillette in the last couple of days raved about how respectfully and well they were treated by your people. How hard has the setting up the infrastructure for the nice smile, you deserve it. How hard has this setting up of the infrastructure been for this?
Yeah, so we've created basically an experience from A to Z. We give information to the guests that are coming to either Fenway Park or Gillette Stadium ahead of time. We inform them what to expect, etc. We try to do as much as we can to get them ready for their experience while they're here. And of course, setting up the infrastructure requires enormous partnerships, both with the Gillette Stadium team, the Fenway Park team. We have our medical overseers, also Mass General Brigham at Gillette Stadium, Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center at Fenway Park. And then we have support with clinical staff from Cataldo Ambulance and Fallon Ambulance. So it really requires a lot of organizing teams together to pull it off.
Well, you left out the guy from the marathon, too. I mean, you have a lot of people, and you described yourself as CIC being the connective tissue. What exactly does CIC do?
Yeah, that's right. So CIC Health, we're basically a 6-month-old startup. We were put together by our co-founders, Tim Rowe and Dr. Atul Gawande, first to do testing, COVID testing. So for the last 7 months, we've been doing COVID testing, and now we're one of the largest COVID testing companies in the country. We've done over 800,000 tests just in New England. And from there, the state reached out and asked us if we would be supporting a vaccination site. This was late December, around December 18th or something like that. And we said, absolutely. So we got working. And so we've transferred a lot of the learnings from the testing site to the vaccination site. We started working and opening Gillette Stadium and now, of course, Fenway Park.
What's the button say? I can't read it. What's the button say?
This button says, I have another one here. So when people come to Fenway, they get this button. I got vaccinated at Fenway Park.
That's great.
Or you can get this one also. I got vaccinated at Gillette Stadium.
Yeah. Boy, those are prized possessions.
We want people to have a great experience. It has to be safe, efficient, but also just a good experience in general.
Yeah, we heard they can take selfies at the stadiums. I want to understand a couple of things, though. Early on at Gillette, we did have a couple of people who said they had to wait outside, they were cold. We haven't heard any of that in the last 10 days or so. Just to be clear, at both sites, well, explain what happens. You're in your car, you get there, and then what happens? And once you're cold, are you inside for the whole rest of the time?
Yeah, that's right. So we actually did have lines one day when we tried something on the layout. And look, this is why we started with smaller numbers so we can try certain things and fix them. And in the last 10 days, we haven't had a line at all. Today, actually, we did. So we're doing now 2,500 a day over at Gillette Stadium and no lines. So the idea is that everybody has an appointment. We ask them to come either 5 or 10 minutes before their appointment, no sooner than that. And as soon as they come in, they can come into the building, so they're not waiting outside in the cold, and there are no lines, etc. And they can be inside warm. And then they get checked in. They pass to the vaccination site. The actual vaccine process takes between 3.5 and 5 minutes. Like, that's it. Then we get to observe them for either 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Yeah. And then sometimes they stay longer because they want to enjoy the view. They want to take some photos. They want to be in the stadium. And we're happy to accommodate them for that as well.
By the way, and do they make the second appointment, the appointment for the second dose, while they're with you, or when does that happen?
That's exactly right. When they're here during that observation period, we have staff that helps them make an appointment or reminds them to get an appointment. And we're really glad to say that over 95% of people have their second appointment booked when they leave the site.
That's great. You know, we should be clear, by the way, when we started this conversation, for all of you angry because you can't get an appointment, CIC Health doesn't deal with that. They take you, first appointment I'm talking about, they take you once you've got an appointment. And my understanding from I can't remember, either Governor Baker reading the Globe, every Thursday, am I right about that, additional appointments open up at Gillette and Fenway. Is that correct?
That's correct. Look, we're working very closely with the state in terms of making sure we have the right supply, which we have. We open up the slots. We basically agree on what's the plan to ramp up. And then we take into account that we're going to need the first dose and the second dose. And then we open those slots every Thursday. And at the beginning, there are going to be many more people that want an appointment than appointments available. That's just the reality. But over the weeks to come, hopefully that will start balancing out.
And by the way, this is all free. We should make clear to people. So, Rodrigo, I'll end with a question that I know you won't answer. So it's a rotten way to end an interview. If CIC had no involvement in testing and vaccine and in a matter of months could gear up to the levels it has, why can't the state have a website that is consumer friendly? Want to answer that one?
Of course, it's a hard one. And look, we're doing the best we can to provide a good experience to all our guests. I think we're all learning of things that we could have done better in the last year. So hopefully we're getting many more people to come in and get vaccinated.
Great. Before you go, just so I can feel like I'm getting closer to a vaccine, do you have a vial in your pocket you can hold up so I get excited about it?
Yeah.
Let's see it quickly.
This is the Moderna vial. This holds 10 doses. And this one actually here, the Pfizer vial is much smaller, holds 6 doses. And these are kept obviously in the ultra low temperature freezers and thawed overnight. And then we open them when we're ready to administer them the next day.
Terrific. Rodrigo, keep bringing those people through. Congratulations to CIC Health and really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.